Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Friday morning. Got a big show lined up, some giveaways, good fishing report, and just all kind of good stuff we do. Everything on our show is positive. Much negative stuff out there in our world, we need a positive show every now and then, so we're glad to be here every morning with you. I appreciate the compliments and all we get on a regular basis, and we take this serious, even though some people don't think it's a big deal going outdoors. A lot of folks do. All right, let's get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. I was thinking about all these people with all this hate in the world and all. If they spend a lot of time outdoors and relaxing and all, doing outdoor things, they wouldn't be feel with quite that much bad feelings and all toward their fellow man. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. The weather going to be warm again today, 90, low 72. Water temperature that I said wasn't going up a couple of days ago, it's going up 3 degrees now. So it's what I know about water temperature. It's up to 85 degrees, but I don't think it's going to get much warmer because our days are shorter and got a little bit of cool air coming in for the weekend. I know we're all glad about that. River eatings brought to us by Sandhill Seafood. Go up and get some fresh seafood this weekend right north of Bozeman School. Right place to go to Bluntstown, 4.4, and dropping out a little bit too, 4.4. The Choctahatchee at Caryville, 5.6. It's actually going to rise maybe a half a foot in a day or two, but it's going to be, both rivers are going to be beautiful this weekend. They're going to be producing some fish. I got some good pictures to show you in a minute. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery here on 23rd Street. We're looking at a high tide. Today is today is September 29th, the last Friday of the month. And let me pause right now and wish my very sweet and loving daughter, Wendy Chester Woodrick, a very happy birthday. And honey, just soon as the show over, we headed to Tennessee to go see you for your birthday. We're going to have a big celebration up there. And so we'll see you in about 10 hours. Okay. Getting back to the tide chart though, looking on 29th, so pretty decent tides. High tide is 348 and low tide is 306. Marine forecast northwest at about 5 to 10. All right, and the fishing game times is going to bring those in here at this point in time. Blue Water Outriggers bring those to us, and it's looking at 7:42 to 9:42 this morning, 8:07 to 10:07 p.m. All right, let's take our break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I want to say a special good morning to Fred, working right there at Sam's, the gas station there at Sam's on 23rd Street. We were there a day or two ago, and I saw gas had gone down it was like $2.44, it's way down. You know, I get not amused, I get frustrated at these big gas companies. Houston was flooded for a couple of days, but gas prices have been up for 3 or 4 weeks now since that happened. But they always use a natural disaster as an excuse to just to take advantage of. We've talked about that. But anyway, Fred works there at the gas station. They had the lowest prices in town, so I pulled in there and started filling up my truck, and he came out of his little booth there, came over and started talking to me. He watches Panhandle Outdoors every day, so we appreciate it, Fred, and good luck to you, and good to see you yesterday. All right, now, let's look at coming up. Today is go by and register. The first annual Season of Hope Outdoors Trout Tournament is tomorrow, but you register today. All kind of neat things, all kind of divisions. First, we've talked about it several times. Just want to remind you one more time. It's all a fundraiser for all the good things. The Season of Hope Outdoors that they do in our Panhandle community, and it's going to be really good. So Michael Harrison got a lot of support there from the Hobbs family, Miller Marine, and all those folks there. So don't forget now, register today at 4 to 8. Also, Emerald Coast Redfish Tournament going on. It's going to be down, it's brought to us by several sponsors. The captain's meeting is going to be at the Shrimp Boat. It's on Beck Avenue, and registration starts there at 5 o'clock, and it's going to be, the tournament will be at St. Andrews Marina, and those different people are helping out on that. Mark Coward, Michael Coward, and I know Fred and Justin, all those guys are fishing it, so good deal there. So that's 2 big tournaments, so if you're fishing this weekend, maybe a little crowded, so don't crowd people, just work your way. There's this big area, and you got Choctahatchee Bay, St. Andrew Bay, Apalachicola Bay. I can promise you, a lot of those red fishermen are going to take off Saturday morning and head to Apalachicola Bay And so be careful out there. If you see some flash coming by, just get out of the way, let them go by. That's the redfish boys going red fishing. Okay, now let's. I got some other things to show you. This is a great picture here. Sherry and Tommy Oliver. We went to the river yesterday after a long interlude, and they have not fished in a while because they're good fishermen, and they've been. I like the way you put this. She welcomed us with her magnificent beauty and bounty. We are grateful to our old friend, and that's the old man Tommy Oliver. But isn't that a beautiful mess of bluegill brim right there? That's an awesome picture right there. And then I got another one down here, and I thought, what a neat story you can talk about Panhandle. This is Mark Calhoun. Early fall trout in St. Andrew Bay. My fishing buddy caught using top water plug for Mark Calhoun. But now you just saw a mess of freshwater fish and 2 speckled trout. That's part of our heritage right here in the Panhandle, catching those two species of fish right there. Okay, and I'm bouncing around on the pictures. I've got. Do you get this feeling sometimes? Feel like you're on empty. That's what Tommy Oliver was talking about. We all go through this, and we need to fill up our fishing tank. So I saw that. I want to pass that on to you. And let's see this one here. This is good. Going to hunting now. Make sure you get a lifeline for like $39.99. See if you're climbing up in those tree stands on the left, and then. But if you have to get a live flight out there, that's $30,000 expenses. I know you have insurance and all, but you could really do some damage. So we're going to talk about hunting safety and all later on. Okay, now, I thought the best way to teach your kids about taxes is by eating 30% of their ice cream. Bill Murray said that one time. I've mentioned that before. That is so true. And let's see. Okay, I want to. It's hard to tell the difference between these 3 fish: a pompano, a jack crevalle, and a permit. And this time of year, you start really catching them because the fall run is starting on the pompano. They're really moving through strong. And now, at this time of year, the pompano is healthier. They've been eating all summer long, and they're strong and healthy. And a permit is a big one. But I want to show you 3 pictures and how to tell them apart. Now, this right here is a pompano. And there's a legal size, 11 inches and all. But you see how it looks. It's got some yellow on the bottom. You see that one dorsal fin. Okay, that's a pompano. Now, you catch a lot of jack crevalle, but you see how similar they are, okay? But this got a little bit of a fin behind the dorsal. Well, that tells the difference. You see that dorsal fin there and a little bit of fin behind it. I'm going to go back to the pompano. You see the pompano does not have that. It's more rounded body, and then right there behind the dorsal fin, it's not as pronounced there, okay? And then, okay, more sleek of an appearance. And then the permit, we don't catch a lot of permit here. I saw where some guy, Justin caught one not too long ago, but permits are, they're big, the same size limit and all, but you see how similar and that one really looks like a pompano, but if you catch a real big pompano, think you got a record, it's probably not, it may be a permit. And we do get a few of them up here, but not quite as many as South Florida, okay? Now, let's do our first drawing of the day for Sandhill Seafood, a seafood platter. And it's got all kinds of fresh seafood in it up there on Sandhills. You run by and see Wayne and his family. They all working up there at a family-owned restaurant. All right, the winner's going to be Michael Bell from Bonifay. Michael Bell. All right, you can either say Bonifay or Bonifay. Okay, either one. If you're from up there, it's around Bonifay. Just remember that. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. I wanted to mention a couple of other things here. One thing right here coming up, the Jeff Bodoff tournament coming up the first weekend of November. But here you can go by and buy some tickets and all. You can win this boat. Run by Sunjammers and buy a ticket right there to win that big boat. Or you can win a $500 gift certificate at Bass Pro Shop. Now, I like both of those. That's for the Elizabeth Bodoff Memorial Redfish Tournament coming up next month, well, in November, the first weekend of November, okay? Now, I also want to mention, a lot of people are dove shoots and quail hunts, and people starting to shoot in the fall. And we talk about patterns and all, the shotguns, and I know if you, as a young person, as a kid and all, you shot bird shot here and buckshot here in the plywood, and see, it's fascinating when you first start doing it, how it spreads out at certain distances, and you have full chokes and modified chokes, and And you learn those things sort of growing up around guns. And I don't think people, young people now learn, in fact, I know they don't learn those kind of things by just going out in the backyard shooting like we did. So I got a couple of pictures here, and it's fascinating. I'm gonna just, a couple things, I thought about this the other night. I thought y'all might enjoy this. This is chokes, okay, on just a gun, different cylinder chokes, but that's how it spreads out. All the way to the bottom, on the bottom left, there's a full choke. And what I mean by the full choke, that shot is going to stay together for a very long time. Now here's when you use a full choke gun, and I had a fine shotgun one time that was full choke. We'll call it it was a goose gun, because the pattern stays together all the way up there and gradually opens up, but it goes a long way. The disadvantage of a full choke, you certainly wouldn't want to go quail hunting with a full choke, because it won't spread out, okay, like a regular bird shot. Bird shot spreads out real early, but a full choke will go all the way up and then spread out later. So you look in this picture here, it shows you the yardage. Bottom, the full choke will go like 40 yards before it spreads out. That's a long way. The modified choke will go about 35, and then all the way down there to like 25 yards for improved cylinder. Okay, that's one picture I wanted to show you. Another one, this is just the size of a shotgun. People say 12 gauge and 20 gauge. This is what they're talking about. It's real simple. It's just the size. Top left is 10 gauge. You don't see a lot of 10 gauges anymore. But the most popular gun of all is 12 gauge shotgun. Everybody has a 12 gauge shotgun. You don't see a lot of sweet, we call that a sweet 16 now. We used to have some of those, and it was just the people just started calling it a sweet 16 because it was just a perfect size gun for some of the hunting they did and quail hunting and all. Then a 20 gauge, and a lot of folks have 20 gauges, and 28 gauge, you don't have that many of them. Then the 410, a lot of people start out hunting with a 410 shotgun. It's a small barrel, as you see on the drawing there, a small barrel, and very, very good to teach a young person. Doesn't have a lot of distance to it, and a very safe gun. So you sort of work your way up in the hierarchy of being an outdoorsman and a gun shooter, okay? And maybe one more here. You can see, this shows again how the full choke, and this shows how the shot itself spreads out. And like I say, if you're quail hunting or bird hunting, you want the one at bottom. If you really going out for shooting for a long distance, or deer hunting with a shotgun or something, that's always real good. The full choke. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about chokes. And here it is. We've all done this. We shot into the piece of plywood. The top left-hand corner, you can see that's buckshot. And then it starts working its way down to the right. Then the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the little holes. That's birdshot. So you see the difference between buckshot and birdshot. And you even see the difference. These are all shot from the same distance, the same gun, but you can see the difference in the amount of damage it'll do. And I don't know about y'all, but for my part of my home defense mechanism, I would go to that top left-hand corner if I had an intruder. Would be something like that. You can see the difference, why you do that. So anyway, I just want to talk about the shots and all. And another thing I was going to talk about, I got tickled. We're talking about nature and all the beauty of nature, all the things that goes on in nature from shooting and all that. But on a more serene level would be the birds and the butterflies. And this time of year, I hope you have a hummingbird feeder around your yard somewhere, because they're out there, and I get tickled to watching these hummingbirds. I used to not pay attention to them when I was little. They were just aggravating when they fly by. But this time of year now, they're really pumping up, really getting a lot of juice in them, because they're getting ready in that migratory pattern. And some of them go thousands and thousands of miles in a migration. So if you have a chance to get a hummingbird feeder, and they're not these nice little pleasant birds. They're very aggressive. They're very possessive of their feeder, and if another one comes up, they'll attack it, and it's like like a dog fight with the planes and all, watching these hummingbirds. But they're fascinating, just sitting watching them, and they'll just come darting by. So if you get a chance, right now is the time to get a hummingbird. You need something, just a little round feeder that's red, and put some sugar water in it, change it out every couple of days. That's all you got to do, and you'll be entertained. Along the same line, we're talking about the butterflies. We've talked about the monarchs coming through, and they're all over the place now with these wildflowers. Nature is beautiful this time of year, so take advantage of just looking at those kind of things, and it's just relaxing. But these butterflies are bouncing around from flower after flower, And that's part of nature too, and that's part of the great outdoors. And I always taught our kids about it's not all about hunting and fishing. It's about all these other things too in nature. So if you get a chance, check those out, okay? Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and go. We need to do another drawing. I think it's all about pictures. I've got several more, but we'll hold off on those. But let's see. I do want to end on this one, okay? If a man says he will fix it, he will. There's no need to remind him every 6 months. Okay, Gail, you see that? All right, here we go. Drawing. This is going to be for Tarpon Dock Seafood, and you know, after on a tuna fishing trip, I get tickled. I've been to Tarpon Dock when they brought tuna right off the boat, and how they gauge the temperature of it, the size of it, you know, and that gauges the price of it. And tuna is really special, and if you can get some fresh tuna, it's really good. I can promise you. Isn't that right, Jeff? Okay. All right, here we go. Tarpon Dock Seafood, $20 gift certificate. I'm always saying get some shrimp or something, but this time of year, I tell you to get some tuna. All right, now the winner's going to be Tarpon Dock Seafood. The winner's going to be Evie Cloud from Mariana. Evie Cloud, Mariana. So we got Bonifay, Mariana, and the third winner for the big red snapper. And it's always good. I'm going all the way to the bottom. And the winner is going to be Greg Taylor from Panama City Beach. All right, Greg, I know you catch a lot of fish. You'll probably give this one to your neighbor. All right, let's take a break, and we'll be right back with a famous Friday fishing forecast. Okay, welcome back on a famous Friday fishing forecast. And I always smile this time of year because there's going to be some great fishing out there, and it's going to be freshwater and saltwater. I got our first report in. I want to thank Chris Carroll for sending this. It's coming from Hogtown Bayou over in Choctawhatchee Bay. We need to get more reports from that area. We'll get them on a periodic report. We just don't get them every week like we do a lot of the St. Andrew Bay and Apalachicola Bay. But Hogtown Bayou is a good place to fish. And for you folks don't know quite where it is, there's the 331 bridge there. And you can see it's over to the right in this area here. Okay, it's not labeling it, but we're in Point Washington. That's one of the original areas where the settlers first came in and did some fishing. Here's what Chris said. They went on a fishing trip this week. A trip was mainly to try and catch a mess of mullet, which we did. Mullet, you know, this time of year mullet. We caught 35 and could have limited out had been if that had been the goal, we could have limited out. We also caught a nice red, 22 inches, and a bunch of 14-inch speckled trout. A lot of 14-inch speckled trout all over the place. So that's good right there. Not sure where the biggest ones were hiding, but I know they're out there somewhere. It's a beautiful day on the water, and we found some dingy water and some clear water, depending on the exact location. Now, he brought up a good point there. It's hard to give a blanket statement on any bay system that is clear or clean overall. Now, we do know the St. Andrew Bay system was sort of cleaned out by the storm. But you take Choctawhatchee Bay and Apalachicola Bay, in general, Apalachicola Bay is going to be on the dingy side. Choctawhatchee Bay both. It'll have some clear water like around our Destin area. You go over that bridge, you see all that clear water. But you get on over there toward the Hogtown Bayou area and all, it'll be some dirty water. But now you can catch fish in both areas, but be aware of that. Okay, now let's go on. Anyway, Choctawhatchee Bay is an excellent time down here. Let me go and mention there's fishing out of the river and all. There's just some really good places to go over in that area. Black Creek, if you learn how to fish Black Creek and all, really good fishing in that over there. And you're going to catch a redfish one cast and a bass another cast. So work our way on down the Intercoastal Waterway into West Bay. The trout fishing, again, I always mention these two areas here, Burnt Mill Creek and Crooked Creek. There's going to be really good trout fishing there and good red fishing. But now it's going to be crowded. You're going to have some red fishermen here. Also, your red fishermen tomorrow during the tournament, they're going to be fishing this area all through here. So give yourself some space and give them some space as you're approaching that. I do know the speckled trout folks. There'll be a lot of speckled trout folks right over in this area, right around the bridge. Okay, around these docks here. Dock fishing is going to be big. East Bay, a lot of these guys in the speckled trout tournament will be fishing East Bay. This will be one of the more crowded weekends you'll have because of the two tournaments and the pretty weather and everybody going fishing on Saturday. So like I say, keep working your way around. There are going to be some open spots. Topwater fishing early is going to be good. You saw the picture of the two speckled trout that was sent in, and that was caught on topwater early in the morning. And I wish I could be here doing that. Okay, now I also want to mention right offshore. I saw some really good, what we call nearshore fishing, the mahi. The mahi bite, mahi is really, really strong. We're catching a lot of mahi. I'm getting some really good reports on that, nearshore. Let's work our way to Mexico Beach. You saw the report last week. King, I talked to my good buddy, my high school buddy, Jimmy Suber, yesterday. He went out king fishing. They got a place in Mexico Beach, and they caught a bunch of king mackerel out of Mexico Beach around the buoy lines. Come out of Mexico Beach, got all these buoys here, and it's hard not to limit out on king mackerel this time of year. So really good fishing for king mackerel. Going on into Cape San Blas and St. Joe Bay, of course, a lot of folks will be out scalloping, and every report that I've gotten personally is that people have limited out. You saw the pictures I had earlier in the week. Carl Andrews and Darylin, they limited out. It took them a couple of hours now, but they're good, and they limited out with some really big ones. He brought up a good point. I know exactly what I'm talking about. He called me before the trip, and after the trip, he brought up a good point. The shells right now are really big. The meat is not quite that as big as you think it is in comparison to the shell. And I'll tell you what's going on real quick. They're beginning to atrophy. Okay, so fortunately, it looks like they're already spawning. After they spawn, when anything spawns, they start losing their size, and that's why if they're shrinking up a little bit, because they've already spawned, which is good. So that's a win-win situation, because they're going to die on out within a month anyway, and yet we're getting to be able to catch them. I wish there was some way we could tell before we pick up a scallop as it spawned. If not, leave it there and then get it next week after it spawned, because they do it at different times. But anyway, scalloping should be good. It's going to be. They're not going to be thick now, but you're going to have to look around, and people ask me where to go. Well, basically, we talked about this before. So wherever you put in, but around Black's Island, on the backside of Black's Island, all through this area, all through here, off these channels, okay? The kayakers, there's kayak launching here, and there's some private boat landings you can go to. Personally, I always put in at the state park and come down in here, work around Black's Island on the backside. So all through this area here is where you're going to go scalloping. You'll see the boats out there, and again, give them plenty of room. I've run out of time again, so I want to thank y'all. Well, great week on Panhandle Outdoors. Again, got a big week next week, and y'all have a great weekend. Always do something good for your fellow man, and go to that fish fry at South Walton for that fundraiser. Have a good day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.